She said, "You're lucky I even chose you. Most guys I date drive BMWs." I said, "True. You deserve one of them." She didn't deserve the look on her face when I pulled up in a brand new M5 with someone else in the passenger seat. I've always been what you might call a gray man. I don't stand out. I drive a sensible 10-year-old sedan that's fully paid off. I live in a modest but comfortable apartment. I wear clothes that are clean and functional, not flashy. My biggest thrill is finding a good stock that's undervalued. On the surface, I'm boring. I know this, but it's a deliberate choice. I spent my 20s grinding away at a software startup, working insane hours and living like a broke college student. When the company was acquired a few years ago, I walked away with a sum of money that meant I would never have to work again if I didn't want to. But I kept working, I kept saving, and I kept living my simple life. I did this because I wanted to find a partner who was with me for me, not for a number in a bank account. I was running a long-term, real-world test, and my girlfriend of 2 years, Nicole, was my final and most disappointing test subject. Nicole is the opposite of a gray man. She is a firework display. She's beautiful, loud, and lives her life as if it's being filmed for a television show. She loves designer labels, exclusive restaurants, and vacation spots that look good on Instagram. When we first met, I thought her energy was exciting, a fun contrast to my quiet stability. I paid for our apartment and most of our shared expenses, which allowed her to use the money from her job as a salon receptionist for what she called the fun stuff. Clothes, bags, and endless brunches with her equally flashy friends. I didn't mind. I saw it as an investment in her happiness. The problem was, it was becoming clear that her happiness was directly tied to my wallet, and my wallet wasn't flashy enough for her. The main point of contention was my car. My reliable, boring, paid-off Honda. To her, it was a source of constant, public embarrassment. She would complain about having to be seen in it. She would make jokes to her friends about my grandpa car. I would just smile and let it slide. Every complaint was just another data point in my experiment. The experiment came to a crashing conclusion last Saturday night. We were getting ready to go to her friend's birthday party. I was waiting by the door while she finished her makeup. She looked amazing, as always. She walked over, gave me a quick once-over, and her perfectly sculpted nose wrinkled in distaste. "Are we taking your car?" she asked, her tone making it sound like I had suggested we travel by sewer. "Yeah," I said. "It's my turn to be the designated driver." She let out a long, theatrical sigh. She walked over to the window and looked down at my car in the parking lot below. "You know," she said, her voice dripping with a unique blend of pity and contempt, "I just don't get it. You have a good job. Why do you still drive that thing?" "It's a good car," I said calmly. "It's reliable. It's paid for." She turned from the window and gave me a look that I will never forget. It was a look of pure, unfiltered condescension. She laughed, a short, sharp, dismissive sound. "You're lucky I even chose you, you know that?" she said. "Most guys I date drive BMWs." And there it was, the final data point, the conclusion of my 2-year study. It wasn't about the car. It was about what the car represented, status. She wasn't with me, she was with the lifestyle I provided, and she was angry that the lifestyle wasn't luxurious enough for her public image. The test was over. She had failed spectacularly. A strange sense of peace washed over me. The disappointment was there, but it was overshadowed by a profound sense of clarity. The decision was made. I looked at her, a small, calm smile on my face. "True," I said. "You absolutely deserve one of them." Her expression shifted. She expected an argument. She expected me to be defensive. My easy agreement confused her. "So, you're finally going to get a new car?" she asked, a hopeful, greedy glint in her eye. "Something like that," I said. "Come on, we'll be late." She spent the entire party in a fantastic mood, no doubt imagining the new luxury car she would soon be seen in. She was bragging to her friends that she had finally convinced me to upgrade my life. I just smiled, played the part of the dutiful boyfriend, and drove her home in my boring old Honda for the very last time. She had no idea that the quiet gray man she thought she had figured out was about to unleash a fireworks display of his own. Update 1. The week after the party was the beginning of the end, and Nicole was completely oblivious. She was riding high, convinced she had finally broken through my cheap exterior. She was dropping not-so-subtle hints, sending me links to BMW dealership websites and talking about which color would look best on her Instagram feed. I just nodded and smiled, letting her believe her fantasy. "We'll see," I'd say, which she took as a firm yes. Meanwhile, I was operating in the background with the quiet efficiency of a man who has a plan. My life was about to be upgraded, but she was not going to be a part of it. My first move was financial. On Monday morning, I contacted my wealth manager. I told him I was making a significant lifestyle purchase and needed to liquidate a portion of my portfolio. The amount I told him to free up would have made Nicole's head spin. He asked if everything was okay. I just told him I was restructuring my personal assets. My second move was automotive. I didn't go to a dealership. I don't like the games, the haggling. I used a high-end auto broker. I told him exactly what I wanted, a brand new top-of-the-line BMW M5 competition. Not a base model, the King. I wanted it in a specific, understated color, a dark, metallic gray that looked almost black in the shade. I wanted every available package, the executive package, the competition package, the carbon fiber trim. I told him the purchase would be cash, no financing. The broker was, to put it mildly, enthusiastic. He said he could have the exact car sourced and delivered within the week. My third and most important move was logistical. The apartment we lived in was a rental with the lease in my name. It was up for renewal in 2 months. I had been planning on buying a house, a place for us. Now I was just buying a place for me. I contacted a real estate agent, not just any agent, but one of the top luxury condo specialists in the city. Her name was Elizabeth, a sharp, professional woman in her 40s. I explained my situation briefly. "I'm making a significant life change," I told her. "I need to find and close on a new place within the next 30 days. I'm looking for a 2-bedroom penthouse condo in the downtown core. Price is not the primary concern. Speed and discretion are." Elizabeth, like the car broker, was energized by the challenge. She sent me a list of private, off-market listings that afternoon. For the next few days, I lived a double life. In the evenings, I was the same old boring Kevin, listening to Nicole plan out the imaginary road trips we would take in our new BMW. During the day, I was a man on a mission. I was test driving cars with the broker. I was touring multi-million-dollar condos with Elizabeth, and I was signing paperwork that was systematically erasing Nicole from my future. The car was secured first. It was even better than I had imagined. A sleek, gray beast of a machine that was the physical embodiment of quiet, understated power. It was the opposite of my old Honda. It was also the opposite of the flashy, look-at-me white SUV Nicole had been dreaming of. I kept it parked in a private garage I rented downtown. She had no idea it even existed. The condo came next. I found the perfect place on the third tour. A stunning penthouse with floor-to-ceiling windows, a huge private terrace, and a view that stretched across the entire city. I made a full cash offer that day, and because there were no financing contingencies, the sellers accepted immediately. We set a closing date for the end of the month. The final piece of the puzzle was the timing. I needed to create a moment. A single, perfect, unforgettable moment where Nicole's fantasy would collide with my reality. The closing date for my new condo was set for a Friday. I arranged for the final walkthrough and key exchange to happen at 5 p.m. That Friday morning, I told Nicole to be ready for a surprise. "Wear something nice," I said. "I have something special planned for us tonight to celebrate." Her face lit up. This was it. The big reveal. She probably thought I was going to surprise her with the new car and then take her to a fancy dinner to celebrate my finally becoming the man she wanted me to be. She spent the entire day getting ready, getting her hair and nails done. At 4:30 p.m., I told her to come downstairs and wait for me by the curb. "The surprise is on its way," I told her. She went down, buzzing with excitement, her phone in her hand, ready to document the moment for her followers. I watched her from the apartment window. She looked like a kid on Christmas morning. I went to the downtown garage, got into my new M5, and started driving. My passenger was Elizabeth, my real estate agent. We had just come from the lawyer's office, where I had signed the final closing documents. The keys to my new life were in my pocket. Elizabeth was coming with me to do the final walkthrough of the now empty condo. As I turned the corner onto my street, I saw her, standing on the sidewalk, looking expectantly up and down the road. She didn't recognize the car at first. It wasn't the color she expected. But then she saw the iconic BMW logo on the hood. A massive, triumphant smile spread across her face. She thought her ship had finally come in. I pulled the M5 up to the curb, the engine rumbling with a low, powerful growl. I rolled down the passenger side window. She bent down, her perfect smile ready, and then she saw her. She saw Elizabeth sitting in the passenger seat, holding a leather-bound folder of documents. The smile on Nicole's face didn't just fade, it shattered. Update 2. The look on Nicole's face was a masterpiece of silent cinema. It was a rapid-fire progression from triumphant joy to utter confusion, then to dawning horror, and finally to a cold, hard fury. Her brain was trying to process a reality that did not compute with her fantasy. "Kevin," she said, her voice a strange, tight whisper. "What is this? Who is this?" She was looking at Elizabeth, the professional, elegantly dressed woman in the passenger seat, as if she were an alien. I gave her a calm, pleasant smile. "Nicole," I said, my voice even. "This is Elizabeth. She's my real estate agent." Elizabeth, ever the professional, gave a polite nod. "Pleasure to meet you," she said, her tone neutral. Nicole ignored her completely. Her eyes were locked on me. "Your real estate agent? What are you talking about?" "The car. You bought a BMW." "I did," I confirmed. "It's a great car. The handling is incredible." For us," she stammered, the hope desperately trying to stay alive in her eyes. This was the moment. The kill shot. I let my smile fade just a little, replaced by a look of polite finality. "No, Nicole," I said. "It's for me. Elizabeth and I are just on our way to the final walkthrough of my new condo. I've just closed on it." I let the words hang in the air. My new condo. Not our new condo. She just stared at me, speechless. Her mind was frantically trying to connect the dots. The new car, the real estate agent, the surprise. It was all coming together in a picture she did not want to see. "But our apartment?" she finally managed to say. "What about our apartment?" "The lease is up in a few weeks," I said. "I've already given my notice to vacate. You'll need to find a new place to live. I'm sure one of the guys you date who drives a BMW will have a spare room." That was it. The direct callback to her own insult. It landed with the force of a physical blow. I saw the flicker of recognition in her eyes, the memory of her own cruel words coming back to haunt her. She started to get angry then. The hurt was being replaced by her usual defensive rage. "You can't do this," she said, her voice rising. "You can't just kick me out after everything. You planned this." "You're right," I said. "I did. You told me what you wanted. You wanted a guy who drives a BMW. You made it very clear that my car, and by extension my lifestyle, wasn't good enough for you. You were lucky, you said, that you even chose me. So I decided to stop being so lucky. I decided to get the car, and I decided to get the life that comes with it. A life that unfortunately doesn't include you." I looked at my watch. "We're going to be late for our appointment," I said to Elizabeth. I looked back at Nicole, who was just standing there on the sidewalk, looking small and lost. "It was a pleasure being chosen by you, Nicole. Truly an honor. Have a good life." I didn't wait for a response. I rolled up the window, put the car in drive, and pulled away from the curb smoothly. I didn't look in the rearview mirror. I didn't need to. The project was complete. The old structure had been demolished, and I was on my way to my new, clean, beautifully constructed life. Final update. It has been 6 months since I drove away and left Nicole standing on that sidewalk. The silence from her has been absolute. I blocked her number that same day. I moved into my new condo, and the peace has been indescribable. The story of what happened, however, has trickled back to me through the grapevine, and it's a satisfying tale of consequences. Nicole, as you can imagine, did not take the situation well. After I drove away, she apparently had a full-blown meltdown on the street. She called her friends, crying and screaming about how I had betrayed her. But her story was a difficult one to spin. How do you complain that your boyfriend, who you criticized for not having a nice car, bought a nice car, and then broke up with you? It didn't track. Her immediate problem was logistical. She was locked out of our old apartment. I had arranged for the locks to be changed that same afternoon while she was getting her nails done for our surprise. All of her belongings were inside. She had to call her parents to come and get her. The next day, I had my lawyer send her a formal notice, giving her exactly 48 hours to arrange for the professional removal of all her possessions from my former apartment. My lawyer supervised the move-out. She was apparently sullen and silent throughout the entire process. The financial reality hit her like a ton of bricks. She had been living a life far beyond her means, subsidized entirely by me. Suddenly, she was faced with the prospect of finding her own apartment in an expensive city, paying for her own bills, her own car, her own life. She couldn't do it. She was forced to move back in with her parents. The independent, high-flying lifestyle she projected on social media was revealed to be a complete illusion. Her social circle also took a major hit. Her friends had all heard her complain about me and my boring life for months. They had all heard her brag about how she was going to get me to buy her a new car. When the story of what actually happened came out, she didn't look like a victim. She looked like a greedy, entitled user who had overplayed her hand and lost spectacularly. Many of her friends, especially the ones who were in more genuine, respectful relationships, quietly distanced themselves from her. As for me, my life has been an upgrade in every sense of the word. The new condo is amazing. The M5 is a joy to drive, not because of the status, but because it's a beautifully engineered machine that I bought for myself, with my own money, for my own enjoyment. I've started dating again, but I'm taking it slow. I'm not running any more tests, but I am paying very close attention. I'm looking for a partner, not a passenger. I'm looking for someone who wants to help build a life, not just live in the one I've already built. My revenge was quiet. It was a revenge of action, not words. I didn't need to yell or scream or make a scene. I just needed to show her the life she thought she deserved, and then show her that she was not invited to be a part of it. She said she dated guys who drove BMWs. She was right. She did. But she learned the hard way that the car doesn't come with the man. Sometimes, the man drives away in it, leaving you behind with nothing but the echo of your own entitlement. And that, I've found, is the quietest and most satisfying victory of all.